Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Safari TV this afternoon. My name is Mark. Sebastian is on camera with me this afternoon, Patrick in final control, and I was getting a bit tongue-tied because we're doing a little different opening today. As we are filming from, we're starting right here in our camp in the car park. Behind me, we've got the jigger and final control, the door to final control. We are in the car park, and the reason why we're starting here is we want to try and put everything into perspective in terms of where FC is, where the car park is, and where this leopard kill is that we found. It was a fantastic surprise this morning. I finished talking to you all, and I went out of FC on my way to the kitchen. Monkeys were alarming in the trees just above us, and I took a little bit of a walk down the road that we're going to see now, the road that heads out of camp towards Graham's house, and could hear the monkeys, could see they were looking at something, but I couldn't quite see anything. And it was only when Patrick and Alex came back to camp did they say something about seeing the leopard kill in the tree. And when I went back there, if I'd taken 2 steps further, should I say, I would have seen it. And having gone back there earlier today, there was, rather later than that, but earlier today, there was a little bit of a growl from the bushes. I'm not too sure if it was my imagination or if it was one of the leopard. Alex did see him. He ran down past my room, down into the drainage line, which is to the left of me, to the right of you. There's a drainage line in front of camp, and he's evidently down there at the moment somewhere. The monkeys were going crazy for most of the morning. Well, come with us. Before we start the drive, we're going to put it all into perspective for you, and I'll try and show you where camp is, where the staff village is, where Graham's house is, and then in the same moment, try and put it into perspective where the camp, or where the tailor is from everything. So let's go for a drive. We've already got a fairly exciting start, although the leopard isn't here right now. Normally my Land Rover's parked here. There. So it's not, it's in the carport at the moment. In the distance above me, can't really see it very well, but there's Graham's house, and just around this bush on our left, barely 20 yards from where we started, I mean this can't be more than 25 meters from where we started, is our camera set up looking into the tree, and in the tree, in fact right behind some of the rooms of the staff village of Guyatela, is an impala in a tree. Now, a couple of things led me to thinking that this could be Nduna. And I think most notable of all is the fact that it's in a very straight tree. There aren't really any horizontal branches, very similar to the last kill we saw in Nduna on with that Deka and that leadwood tree down the dip at Nyala Road, Central Road Junction, just in the fork. And we've seen how Nduna battles to keep kills in a tree, and I think with anything that he's learned that kind of a fork in a tree is an easy wedging place. It's a place to make sure that his kill's not going to fall out. But I think he hasn't quite learned that while it's a good place to keep the kill, it's not a very good place to eat on it. Some of the carcass, some of it has been eaten, some of the soft meat on the rump. It's possible that he would have eaten that in the beginning, before he took it up the tree. It is a female impala, and I'm not too sure whether the swelling is due to post-mortem gases, or unless maybe it was a pregnant female. If so, it would have been quite a heavy animal for him to take up the tree. But then again, he is big. He's bigger than his mother. We did see Karula on drive this morning, and maybe we can go and find her. We can go and look for her. There was some elephant around. It'd be nice to maybe look for them too. The nice thing about this is we do have a camera here, so Kat can tell us if there's any action going on, and we will maybe come back here later. Unfortunately, there's a lot of activity. The staff village gets quite active, and a little bit of traffic up and down here. Graham's house, a couple of dogs that keep barking. It's enough to maybe keep him away for a while, so he might only come back during the night, and we'll have to see if we can do something about that. But for now, we know he's not here, and we're going to continue on our drive, and hopefully find some other things in the interim until we manage to come back here. So, hope you're going to enjoy the drive with us. Before we go, I think I would like to just maybe get a snap of that. Not very easy to, not in a very easy position. In fact, the best position is where Alex has got the camera. But I'd like something for the blog, unless I can get a screen capture or something from the from that other old HD, not old, from the HD camera. So, cloudy days, lovely temperatures, and a breath of wind. It's a really beautiful afternoon. That didn't sound too good. It was only a rock. Hope there wasn't anything underneath it. Shame. So, young leopard. So, in front of us, this is Graham's house, also barely 20 yards away. Doing a 90-degree turn now and heading out towards quarantine. The staff village on our left. Staff village, workshop area. And it's behind this staff village and probably another 100 yards away is where Vuyatela Lodge is, and it's beyond that where Gowrie Dam is. So we are quite a ways away from Gowrie Dam. Not too far from the very top end of Gowrie Dam because of the direction that the dam stretches. And then as we come out here, there's, I can't quite see it, but there was the mast and Yuri's house to the left, and here in front of us, the open area called Quarantine. Most of our drives have started beyond this point so that we don't see the staff village and the split pole fencing and the cars and the human things. We try and start the drive with only nature. That's in our nature. But I think for a lot of you who haven't had any tours of camp or haven't been with us that long to sort of know and put things into perspective, it's a nice way to be able to do it using a leopard kill as an excuse. Not that we really need an excuse, I don't think. Tracks. Catch it, Drongo, catch it. Squirrel doing gymnastics. Didn't show that to you because it stopped. Basically it was running, it tried to jump onto a branch and its back leg slipped, so it was hanging like the horizontal bar. There's some dwarf mongoose around. Just need one or two. Few of them around here. We've seen them on this termite mound before. Oh, we got one right here. Dashing across the road to join the rest of the clan. Red-breasted swallow just flew over. One of the intra-African migrants. Seems like the colony of mongoose is very well spread out this afternoon. I'm seeing individuals every now and then. I see one move. It's hard to find them unless they're moving. So now we can't really get close to them, but there's some of the swallows up in the tree. In that dead marula. The one that died last year. And a woodpecker. Yep. That's that pair of red-breasted swallows. We're not going to get very much detail out of them. There you can see two little specks at the top of the tree. Some oxpeckers hanging around that marula as well. I wonder if they're looking for suitable nesting areas, nesting spots, nesting holes. There are no large mammals around for them. Possibly 18th century, this individual, while the others forage in the vicinity. Another little one just in front of us, the base of that tree. There we go. Oxpeckers are flying over towards Rebecca's Road. They might have a mammal there that they're going back to. Hi Sandy. Let me just start up and we can talk while I'm driving. Let's move along. Use the Sandy Mark, the aerial Sandy. Sandy was asking, it seems that it would be pretty difficult for Induna. If it is Induna, it would be pretty difficult for him to feed on that carcass in that position. Would he take it, reposition it? It's possible that he would reposition it. It's possible that he'll stand on it to feed on it. It's possible that he will do something silly, like take it down and try and feed on it on the ground. He has been taught to feed on the ground by his mother, who has done that in the past. But she mostly does that during the day when there's very little likelihood of hyenas coming to steal it. His previous impala kill was stolen by hyena because he left it on the ground at night and he was feeding on it, oblivious to hyenas approaching, and lost his kill. Now, while we say it is indunas, could be anybody's. I suppose could be Mishu. We have made the assumption that it's Induna based on his reputation, if anything, of not only losing kills, but not losing them to hyena, but losing them out of trees. But also just not being very agile in the tree with the kill. He's still got things to learn there. But I've seen leopard take kills up a tree like that on the spur of a moment when they've made a kill, and either they've been feeding for some time or they've just made the kill, and suddenly hyenas are there and they've got no option but to take it up the first and nearest tree that they can. And under those circumstances, I've seen leopard take kills up really the scraggliest and most awkward of trees, only to leave it and ignore it and go off and then come back the next day when it's daylight, take it out of the tree and then reposition it in another tree. So there are a lot of possibilities of what happened or what could happen, who it is, and I think one of the reasons why we have the camera there is to maybe make sure that we don't miss anything. I hope he's not intimidated by the camera. It's just a camera on a tripod. I was wondering that maybe if we put the jigger there, they'd feel less intimidated because they know the jigger. But I think it should be fine. It'd be interesting if he does something to the camera. Imagine a leopard standing in front of the camera and jumps up, and all you see is this image of a leopard in front of the camera and pulls the camera down. Hello, guinea fowl. Trot, trot, trot. You look like prehistoric creatures when you run. Tarantau. Where to first? See if there's any sign of where Karula went to. That's a good idea. Where was she? Back was somewhere off Gary, Maine. On the Termite Mound. I'm just trying to think. In fact, where was Karula on that termite mound? Okay, so near the quarry. Road. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. That's right. Now I remember where you turned off. You turned off just before that dry pad. Now I can remember that image. I was just trying to picture it. I was getting confused because the other day we had Karula a little bit further west from there along Gary, Maine, also on a termite mound, and then she got up and she crossed over south into Little Gary. So think maybe we'll go Weaver's Nest, and we'll take the southern Treehouse Dam Road past Treehouse Dam. That's not around here. Wow. The sausage tree flowering. Coming past the sausage tree, Philemon's Dip. We've had Dacre. The Dacre is there, feeding on flowers again. But this time she's got company in the form of a big Nyala bull. Let's see if we can get to see him. We've got the noise of the pump, of course. It's being daytime and non-drive time. So, excuse the noise. An awkward angle. Looks like there's still many buds there to flower. Actually, come to think of it, there are more ovaries left over and the flowers dropped than there are flowers coming. Black-headed oriole just flew out of the tree. Also probably one of the birds that's breaking through the base of the flower to get to the nectar rather than going through the flower. And the starlings too. Okay, let's get out of this noisy dip. Very sad. Did you say will they avoid the kill? Okay. Sandy wants to know if hyenas or other predators will avoid the kill so close to camp. Absolutely not. I think just about every night we have hyena tracks coming through camp, or at least in the vicinity of camp. That's mostly because hyenas know about humans and they know that we store and waste food. So do monkeys. That's why the monkeys hang around. And hyenas come sniffing around almost every night. And they are bound to find it. Perhaps more so later at night tonight, after everybody's gone to bed, when it's quiet. I think for the first couple of hours of tonight, when staff are still busy, still work being done at the lodge, and there's still a to and fro of people, might be another matter. I mean, we followed Lion right through camp where we were today, starting. On a couple of occasions we've had the Styx Pride right there, where we've followed them from Gowrie Dam or something, right around the lodge, past the staff village and into camp, beyond camp into the drainage line where one of those leopard is now. Patiently waiting for whatever moment it is that he's waiting for to come and feed on it, possibly just the decrease in human activity. Victoria wants to know if Karula's pregnant, will male leopards still hang around in the area? Victoria, it's not really that we've got male leopards hanging around. The male leopard's territory is quite large, and it will incorporate the territory of females, so they just naturally are around. There probably won't be as much interaction with her, and they will be picking up within her scent, of her scent marking within, and also from the scent of her urine, that she's not in estrus, and that means that they won't be interested in her in that sense. Is Jake with us today? I wonder. Young Jake? Few low grey clouds. It looked a little threatening earlier, but I think we should be fine. Funny, yesterday morning I was saying that I'm sure there's a cold front coming because, or cold front, but weather coming, because I could feel the pressure change in my ears, and lo and behold, we had rain last night, even if it was only a few drops. Tracks. Hello, dove. Love the dove. Wow, you know what? I've just seen something. How many times have I driven this road in this spot, and I've never seen this before in 18 months. Now we're at the junction of Elephant Skull, and if we just, let me show you something. We haven't seen it for a long time, and there are probably a number of you new viewers who haven't seen it at all, but big dead leadwood down Elephant Skull. Just show you quickly. That one at the back there. You can maybe get there later, but I want to go and try and find Karula. But that dead tree with the tree orchid in it. There we go. Left of your picture in the distance. And no, a little bit more to the left. More left.
So this one.
No, the big one. Big dead tree.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that one on the left. And there, on that branch that sticks out to the right, halfway up, is a tree orchid, and Celia gigantea. We'll go and look at that again another time. Right now I want to go and look for leopard and tracks and elephants and things, and we'll come and look for that. But what I wanted to point out to you is that that's a fairly old tree orchid, and I've just seen a probably more than likely one of its offspring. And I'm not even going to start the engine, we're just going to roll forward. Never seen this before, and it's been here all along. You can't see it very well, but here, just behind those worry leaves, is this terminalia, on the bark of this terminalia. Not very easily noticeable because it's a little bit hidden, and it would be normally hidden behind foliage, but you can see those sort of yellowish green leaves. Almost looks like a palm tree sticking up there, but it's a young leopard tree orchid. Fantastic. That must be a baby of that one. Bird depositing a seed, perhaps. Okay. This goes to show we can drive the same place day in and day out, and you can still find new things. Okay, brakes. So we do something about that. Choking. If I'm not mistaken, there was an elephant that way this morning. There was something here. Maybe this is where they were. No tracks. We turned off Weaver's Nest. We're heading more or less west up towards Treehouse Dam on the southern road. Treehouse Dam. Pat, what was here this morning? A lot of vehicles going off road. Is this where the Ndlovu were? Okay. Tyler. Pat, what sighting was that Weaver's Nest, Treehouse Road Junction?
No.
Okay, copy. There's a lot of tracks going off-road, coming up this road going to Treehouse from Weaver's Nest. Okay, copy. I was just wondering maybe it was Ingwe, but I'll look at that. Okay, thanks. Interesting question, Kim. Hello, Kim. Will Mission and Duna go after Karula's new cubs? Hello, hippos. Hippo tracks. Let's just say hello to hippos and we'll go look for Karula. They might just get a complex if we don't stop and say hello, you know. That sort of thing. So what's wrong with us? We hippos. People don't see hippos in any place other than Africa. So we better just say hello to hippos. They've got to earn their living. Grass doesn't come cheap these days. Neither do these fancy mud wallow water holes that they... Oops. Zebra on the other side. They're quite far. Okay. Zebra sort of. Thank you. Hello, Bets. How are you doing? See if I can find you some Ellies today, Bets. I'll see if I can find me some Ellies and you can enjoy them. Bets wants to know how come lion and leopard tend to start eating from the rear of the animal when the chest and the stomach area that holds all the organs. Actually, Bets, even cheetah do. I think we might actually just stay here a little bit. There are zebra now coming into view. They're a little bit wary, but they might just come down to drink. Bets, I think the main reason for them starting on the rump area is because that's where the most meat is. They're more concerned with meat than vital organs. Although I'm sure, the liver and the heart, kidneys maybe, are very rich and very important for them in terms of the type of nutrition they get from it. The softest area for them to start eating is at the rump, and it also contains the most meat and blood. And what are you doing, hippos? You're squaring off. Isn't enough room in this little pond for the two of you. Showdown at Treehouse Corral. Not quite high noon, but they seem to be keeping an eye on each other. Bull at the back there seems to be taking a bit of a dominant stand, arching his head like that. It would appear to be two bulls. Hard to tell. But it's both humgos. It's real humgo and pseudo humgo. One of them is that one bull from Buffelshoek Dam. So I wonder. What's stag night tonight at Treehouse Dam? See, now we don't know which one is the real humgo. Both of them have got a nick out of there right here. I think that's humgo on the left, but it looks more like his crumpled ear than the other one that's got that big tear out of his ear. Might be wrong. It's you out there that know him better than me, or have access to photographs of him. So we need to think of a name of the other one, not pseudo humgo. Humgo and not humgo. There we go. Done. And since when are zebras so cautious? Normally when zebra want to drink, they just walk down to the water and drink. Not like they're behaving like giraffe now. 2 steps, stop, look around, swing the tail. 2 steps. There we go. Come, Mrs. No, she stopped. Swings the tail, looks around, takes a couple of steps. Everything's fine. I'll look out for you, promise. getting back to your question, Bet, for cheetah, kind of important for them to start on the rump area. Firstly, because it gets to the meat the quickest. It's the quickest way to the meat, but also because cheetah have no means of protecting their kill against anything else at all. And so what they do is they start on that rump area and they try and feed as quickly